Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another TJ Warren TV stream. Welcome back to the Let's Be Real show. Rebooted. It's rebooted, people. We are back, and we are back with a vengeance. Not only do we have the best layout, we have the best creator of layouts. We have one of the best football minds on YouTube right now. Next to me, Connor from CMO Sports. Connor, I'm so happy to have this show back, co-hosting with you. It's going to be fantastic. We don't know exactly when we're going to run it, but we're going to run it when we can. We're going to try to be as consistent as possible. But, man, it's good to be back. How are you?
100%. I'm buzzing. I'm really happy that we decided to bring this back. I know we took a bit of a break from it. But, yeah, something that we want to get kicked off again. Now, the transfer window is now going to be the big topic for the next few months, as well as the Euros. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, especially with Arsenal. So, yeah, big up to yourself, TJ. Big up to everyone who is locked in currently. And I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a really good show. And smash the likes, people. Come on. It's rebooted. Let's Be Real's rebooted, man. Episode 1. We're going to get this cooking. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm all good.
Me too, me too, man. Me too. Absolutely. And smash the like, subscribe if you're new, people. Absolutely. Subscribe to CMO Sports. The link will be in the title shortly. But lots of news going on with Arsenal right now. I feel like we're flying under the radar a little bit with some of the other football competitions that are going on. Obviously, we have the Euros coming up. I'm concentrating on Copa America. So when people are asking me, hey, what do you think of the Cisco transfers? What do you think of Osimhen? What do you think of the outgoings? I go, fantastic. Just don't disappoint me. That's really where I'm at right now. So, guys, get your questions in. I will star the best ones. If you guys want me to answer your question right away, I will stop exactly what I'm talking about. If you decide to donate to the channel, super chat, I will stop what I'm talking about, and we will answer your question. But, of course, that is not required. The only thing that is required is to smash the likes, pay the toll. All right, so first things first. I've been hearing all about Benjamin Sesko. Everybody says Sesko. I'm not going to lie to you. I had no idea who this guy is. I don't watch enough Bundesliga football to know who this guy is. And from what I can tell, he didn't play a ton, but he is the profile that Arsenal is looking for in a striker. But I want to hear your opinion on it first, because I definitely have my opinions on it based off of what I've read. And I think it might not be the best fit or what we need right now. But I wanted to hear what you thought first, because it's honestly like opinions across the fan base on this are divided, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a million discussions about this guy. And it's crazy for a guy I didn't know who. I knew of him at Leipzig. I've seen a little bit of him, but nothing major to say I know everything about this player, because I don't. I know he's a goal scorer, not prolific, but he is a goal scorer, but he's also a young, raw talent. And the one main thing I came into this transfer window thinking that, well, it's not even open. Well, it's open. It is open now. What am I about? It is open now. The one thing I came into this transfer window thinking with Arsenal, with a striker, was I saw a tweet, actually, after the Bayern game. Arsenal was saying to themselves, again, might not be true, but from what I read, they were looking for that X factor to get them over the line. You know, your Harry Kanes, your Haalands, your Mbappes, that kind of. I'm not saying we get that type of player, because I don't think we won't, and there's not many players like that currently in the world of football. But I like to think Arsenal were going to go into this window getting somewhat the best of the best. We finished second 2 years in a row. We're now looking for that title now. It's only so much where you finish second twice. You don't want to be going to third. You want to be finishing first. And in my eyes, I thought, okay, Arsenal are going to do everything to get the best that they possibly can.
Yeah.
And to me, Benjamin Sesko isn't that. Now, there's many things I'm thinking with Benjamin Sesko. It's a risk player, but I feel like every player is a risk nowadays, unless they're guaranteed quality, like your Declan Rice's. I think every player is a risk that you bring in. I think Gabriel could have been a risk. Saliba could have been a risk. Who else could have? Technically, Martin Odegaard could have been a risk. I know some people don't like him that much. I'm not his biggest fan, but he has been very good the last season or two. So he's worked out probably better than a lot of people expected. So I think Sesko is another one of those players. And for a player to sign in a position that's very crucial for us, a 20-year-old from the Bundesliga who's only had one season in that RB Leipzig team, it doesn't scream it screams a risk. You know, he could come to the Premier League and he could score 30 goals next season. He could score 25, 30 goals. We don't know. But he could also come into Arsenal's team next season and score 10. You know, it's a big risk and it's questions. And I'd rather get in that man that can come into this team that I know quite confidently will get those 25 goals. I think 30 goals is a bit far out, but to get that 25 goals. And Sesko was close. He got 17 goals last season. It's not like he didn't get any goals. It's not like we're after a player that scored barely anything. You know, he did score a couple goals for Leipzig for sure. But TJ, I'm going to keep it honest and real. I think 5% of the Arsenal fans knew who this guy was before June. I'm serious about that.
I'm in that 95%, bro.
I'm part of it. I generally believe only a good 5% of people, and I'm including Strasbourg Steve, one's one of those people, because Strasbourg Steve knows everything. I swear on my life, I don't think many people really knew who this guy was. Even English football fans knew who this guy was. And now all of a sudden that Arsenal and Chelsea and Man United are now interested in him. The fact that Chelsea and Man United are interested in him makes me think, okay, maybe there's something around this guy. If we were the only team going in for him, I might have questioned it a bit. I'd be like, why? So if he's not that big of a deal, why are we the only team going in for him? But you've got to look at it in a sense of 50 million, 45 is very cheap for a striker in this market. And, there were the Isaks, 115, or was it? And then Osimhen for 150.
Osimhen for 100, yeah.
There's like a lot of money to be spent. Honestly, I'll make my point clear before I move on to your point.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Would I be disappointed if we signed Sesko? No. Would I be underwhelmed? Yes. But we need someone else. We do. But I'm not. The reason I wouldn't be that disappointed is because I would be curious to see how he does. But in an Arsenal team that I want, and I think we should be winning that title next season in the way that we've been going and the way that Arsenal fans have been saying we've been progressing, not the fact that they've put aside that we're not winning trophies. They're using the excuse that we're progressing every season. So if we don't finish first next season, we haven't progressed. We haven't progressed. Yeah. And Sesko, in my personal opinion, doesn't fulfill that warrant to finish first. But then again, we don't know. He could come into the team and he could be the next best thing. We don't. He's only 20 years old. So would I be disappointed if he comes in? No, but I'd be underwhelmed, and I don't think it would be enough personally.
No, that's perfect. That's exactly what I think, and I think it introduces more questions than it answers. Unfortunately, because if you get in like an Alexander Isak or an Osimhen or somebody like that, obviously the price tag is absolutely insane.
Gokeres, dare I say? Victor Gokeres from some
Gokeres. Any of those, any proven striker, right? You're going to end up sending another player that way and spending anywhere from 75 to 100 mil on top of it, right? So where the problem is with the Sesko deal, and I would love to hear about what the thoughts on the chat is. The chat's going wild right now. Appreciate you guys. Literally, it doesn't solve any of the problems because what you have with Kai Havertz. You have a semi-experienced number 9 that's been in the club for a year, been in the Prem for 3, and you're bringing in somebody that's not Prem proven to come and challenge for that spot. And when he does, in fact, or if he does, in fact, beat out Kai Havertz for that spot, he starts regularly cooking, right? What do we do with Kai Havertz? We throw him back in the 8 where we know that's not his best position by a long shot. Like in my opinion, it introduces more questions than problems that it solves. Whereas if you get a proven strikers like a Gyökeres, like an Isak, like that problem that doesn't even exist. You're not creating conflict. You are saying, "Yep, that's my number 9. You're going in, Kai. Yeah, we rotate him in at left back for all I give a shit. We just need somebody that can go in and finish those chances that Eddie Nketiah couldn't finish, Gabriel Jesus couldn't finish, and in some cases Havertz couldn't finish. I mean, you can think of 2 or 3 chances that Kai Havertz, if he had finished them, we would have gotten those points to get over the hump and over. That was Man City, right? Only lost out by a couple of points. You have to consider these things because do I think our squad is right now is built to win? Yes. But is it built to win enough? No, not enough. We need more depth. Do I think we need more depth? Yes. But where we don't need depth is in the 9 position. We need a killer. We need a number 1. We don't need to be like, oh, well, maybe he can start. No, we need somebody that we know can start now. Pay the money. Otherwise, it's going to be overwhelming. And getting Nketiah out. Like, that's another thing, too. Like, not trying to spin this off into anything else, but why is Eddie Nketiah still here?
I've got a rant
because
about that.
The message you are sending to the fans is this guy can coast on 100 bags a week and not do anything. Maybe play the first round of the Carabao Cup against, Oxford or some shit. You know what I mean? But other than that, you're not going to get any sort of real result out of him. Whereas, Benjamin Sesko, there's the potential for that. He has the profile. That's what everybody keeps talking about is profile. But this guy could just as easily end up being like Arsenal's version of Rasmus Højlund, right? I keep bringing that up too, man. Is that, look, like, you bring in these unproven, very tall Nordic strikers, and what do they end up doing? They end up being overwhelming, underwhelming. Whereas, right now we have underwhelming. We have middling. So why bring in somebody else? Why take a flight when you can spend the extra 50 mil? And we know it's there, whether it's in player sales or whether it's in our war chest that we've been promised. Just go and pay the money. Don't underwhelm the fans in this position where you went out and got Declan Rice. That shows that you have intent, right? And Declan Rice was worth the money. Kai Havertz, I can't believe I'm going to say this, was worth the money. Now go out, ride that wave, ride that positivity wave of these transfers, and bring in somebody that the fan base can get excited about. I just don't think Sesko is somebody that the fan base can get excited about. That's really where I'm landing here.
No, I agree. And it would be interesting to see, why they've gone for this particular player. He does technically fit the profile that we need. We need someone tall. We can't have a short striker. We need a tall striker. The way we play football, we love to cross balls in. We love to play balls through into the box. A tall striker is needed, and Kai Havertz was that, but he's just not a striker. But in the system he was playing this season in RB Leipzig, he was playing with a striker next to him in a 4-4-2, and we obviously don't play that. Would he fit in as a solo striker? Yes, you'd have wingers alongside him, whether it's Martinelli, Saka, Trossard, whoever it may be. Can he fit as that only single 9? That's a question as well to be asked. He all season he was playing along another striker who could possibly help him out. I actually said multiple times, which is why I think United are going in for Sesko. I think Højlund needs a striker next to him. I think they should go to a 4-4-2 or a 4-1-2-1-2, whatever they can do. They need a striker next to Højlund, in my opinion, for United. So that's maybe why United are going in for Sesko. So that's the question as well. Can he come in and fit as a single striker on his own? Will he be that striker who can? I don't really think he can dribble. I'm not too sure about that. Someone can stat check me on that, but I'm not sure if he's that much of a dribbler. We kind of need that in the style of football that we play, unless we just whack him up front and leave him there, like we sometimes do with Havertz, but he likes to play deep. So there's so many questions to be asked about this sign, TJ, and it's not just him. If you want to move on to Osimhen as well, I wouldn't mind Osimhen. I would take him. The problem with him is, and which I learned the other day, his injury record is shocking.
It's awful, yeah,
so bad, and that's a worry, and that's another risk you've got to take with another player like Osimhen. Big money could probably more likely get you goals than Sesko could, in a high probability with his career. But then you've got that injury record behind you. We know what Arsenal players are like with injury records, even if they haven't come to the club with clean slates like Sesko has.
If he already has an injury record and you're coming in, you're basically taking somebody that's in a wheelchair and throwing them down a mountain. Like that's how I feel. So
it's a different, and maybe that's why Arsenal don't. I mean, there's been obviously links with Arsenal saying Osimhen wants Arsenal or Saudi. That's the only two places he wants to go. So I'll be very disappointed if he goes Saudi, because I think it'd be a waste of talent. But there's that question as well. Is maybe Arsenal going to make the right decision by going to Sesko? He's young. He's got a clean slate injury profile. He barely gets injured, obviously, maybe until he comes to Arsenal. Yeah. But we're going to have to wait until the start of the season with whoever we have.
Yeah.
Either way, it's very clear we're getting the striker. I think Sesko is going to be the player we're going to get. And I think he's going to be the only striker we're going to get, because from what I'm seeing, we're going to keep Jesus. I don't think we're going to sell him. I think he still wants to fight for his place, from what I've seen. But I would happily go ahead and sell Eddie. and I saw a tweet yesterday, which I hope's PR, and I hope it's a way to make Eddie feel good about himself. But it said Arsenal were reluctantly wanting to sell Eddie.
Oh, I read that same article. Why did they use that word, dude? Why?
Because Arsenal asked them to put that on there. I guarantee you, Arsenal media, someone at Arsenal has told them to say put reluctantly, so Eddie feels good about himself.
I knew as soon as I saw that you were gonna freak out. I literally thought about it
last night on my transfer stream. I literally said it last night on my transfer stream. How are people trying to tell me that we're reluctantly trying to sell this bum? I don't even care what anyone tells me. Eddie, thank you for all you've done. Helen Kid and that. Arsenal through and through. Respect to you, bro. Respect, honestly. Right? I don't even know if he's Arsenal through and through because we got him from fucking Chelsea. So, it's one of these things where I don't care. I don't care. Sell him. He's dross. I've seen a rumor for £30 million for Fulham. I will drive him there. I will take a cab or get a cab and I'll get him to Fulham. It's only on the other side of London. It blows my mind how. And I've also seen apparently Wolves, Palace, and Everton want him as well. Why are we holding back from selling this player? You do realise if we sell him for that price, he'll be our second biggest sold player in Arsenal history. Oxlade-Chamberlain is our highest, £35 million.
Yeah, 35 million, yeah. Which is insane, by the way.
It's ridiculous. We've got so much to sell this summer, TJ, and we've got to sell them correctly. Zinchenko is one of them. I hope the Bayern links are true with Company because that would be perfect for us. Just get him gone. Ramsdale as well. English tax, English one of the England goalkeepers. He has to. I don't think
we're going to get it. I don't think we're going to get as much for. And I don't want. I'm going to stop you just real quick. I don't think we're going to get as much for Ramsdale as everybody thinks we're going to. And to be honest, same with Eddie Nketiah. Look, if we're truly trying to get Eddie Nketiah out of the club, we're going to accept it. I mean, the wage bill that he is on doesn't really dictate, especially if you're selling him to a mid to lower table club. You're not going to get as much money just because they're having to pay him 100 bags a week, or they're going to need to restructure his contract. In my opinion, I think Jaminho was right on. I don't think we get more than 10 or 15 million for Eddie Nketiah. I mean, when was the last time he started it? When was the last time he started a match? I don't think he started a match in 2024. So the last time this guy has touched the pitch,
I think it was Sheffield. I think it was Sheffield at home.
Yeah, it was Sheffield at home, and he bagged. But other than that, ever since then, he hasn't. We've tried to bring him in off the bench to make any sort of impact. He hasn't done it. We've tried this experiment for 2 to 3 years now. It's time to call it good. It's time to get him out of the club. And I know a lot of people are going to be calling for more money. But the fact that we decided that, well, number one, he's not good enough. We can all agree on that. Number two, and Mikel Arteta decided that we are going to throw in Trossard, Jesus, and Havertz over this kid. So he's technically our fourth string. People call him our third. He's technically our fourth because Trossard was starting more games in the 9 position than Nketiah was. Yeah. So all you people going out there saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to go out and try to get 20 million for him," I'm sorry. I have some oceanfront property in Arizona that I'd like to sell you because honestly, man, beggars can't be choosers here. And that also relates to Ramsdale too, because when he did start for us against Brentford, there were a couple of sus moments there where you're just kind of looking at him like, okay, this is why we got rid of you because he's taking remember when he took way too much time on the ball and almost gave the ball away to Wissa? Yeah. And you're just kind of like, oh my God. This is your chance to prove that you belong here. Maybe start challenging David Raya for his spot, and you go and do that. And then ever since then, he hasn't started a match. His stock has completely dropped off. He's still second, third in the tier list for England. So all these people again, if we had sold him back in January to a Chelsea or to a top 6 Premier League team that needs a goaltender, got to get the time. Newcastle was sniffing around for him too because they had an injury to Nick Pope. You could have gotten 50 million for him, but now that he hasn't played, and when he did play, he looked sus. You're not going to get any more than 25, 30. I think. What do you think about that?
For me personally, do you know why it's so difficult to discuss these type of conversations? Because we've got people like Eddie in charge. I don't know. Yeah. You don't know how much you're going to get for these players. But I'm going to be so honest here, right? Zinchenko Ramsdale, Nketiah, Reece, Smith Rowe. Who else are we looking to sell this summer? I think that's probably one of the main five we're trying to sell. So out of those five, minimum we should be getting around 70 to 80 million for all those five players.
Yep.
We should be making bank this summer because it's very clear that Arsenal want to do a bit of a clear out here and bring in some players back. And you can't forget, Arsenal do a system like any other club. They sell to buy. We get a set budget every season from the Cronkies. And I find it quite crazy that the Cronkies are okay with how bad we've sold over the past few years. Because if I'm a business owner and I own a club, and yes, I may have billions and billions of pounds in my bank account, but I'd still like to make a return from it. And yes, they make returns from ticket sales, from shirt sales, from loads of other ways. But player sales not only going into the club, but also going into the owner's pockets, returning. Surely they'd care a bit more about that. But
yeah,
they obviously maybe they don't. I don't know. I can't speak for them. But I find it quite crazy how we haven't sold that. We haven't sold players for that much in years. Even in this new age where players that cost 100 million now, like the Declan Rices, 5 years ago would have probably cost half that. So we're in an age now where players are going for a lot of money. Know much how bad they are, or what their credibility is in terms of how old they are. There's still players going for big money nowadays in football. I saw Casemiro possibly going to Saudi for £100 million. Could be false, but still, it's massive money.
That would be highway robbery.
Oh, of course it would be 100. Even Eddie Nketiah for 30 million is highway robbery. So it's like it's what Arsenal decided. If we go out for the players that we're looking to sell this summer, we should be making minimum 70 to 80 million for all these players in total. 100%. If we make anything below that, it's a shambles. If we sell someone like Zinchenko, and I don't like Zinchenko very much, but he's still a quality player in the right team, he'll make a good left back. If we sell him for something dross like 15 million, I'm going to be fuming. Fuming. All these players we've got should be sold for a minimum 20 million, unless they were the likes of El Neni or something. These are still players that are going to be in the game for another 5 to 10 years, majority of them. There's a reasoning for selling them for a good price. We're a big football club. We shouldn't be easily negotiators. We should be putting the right price down for these players. So hopefully the Edu and all the technical staff get the right deals done. And let's go ahead and use some of this money we're going to sell on players to bring in. Let's not panic buy and spend a crazy amount of money on 2 players that not have anything left to spend. Let's make some of this money back from these players we're selling. And if we have to get in someone cheap to replace Ramsdale, a crappy English goalkeeper, or someone from Europe, or someone from England, Ireland, Scotland, or Wales, to bring in, then do so. Let's try be logical, realistic, and actually structure right in this transfer window. But it's Edu, and I think we're going to spend the money easily. We spend the money happily. It doesn't matter. We'll spend that 200 million easy this summer. I 100% will spend that. It's whether we can sell for it and make a bit of profit back. But we'll see. We'll see on that part, TJ. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll 100% see. And you know what I'm not seeing? I'm not seeing enough likes. We get us up to 15 likes right now, people. We're only on 10 likes. We got 15 people in here. That means people aren't paying the tax. Smash the like button, people. Smash the like button, please. Please, please, please. And subscribe to CMO Sports if you haven't already. If you live under a rock and you haven't subscribed to Connor yet, go over there and smash a like. And big up Yeti. Yeti's in the building. Big up Yeti. Big up Jaminho. Big up everybody that's inside. Make sure that you guys are smashing the likes up. No. And here's another thing. And here's another criticism. And people, this is a criticism of Mikel Arteta that doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion. This guy has his starting 11 and he sticks to it, right? He maybe rotates in 2 or 3 other players, but the starting 11 that you need to be starting per game. Every Arsenal fan that watches this club regularly knows what that starting 11 should be, right?
Yeah.
So if the same players are starting and your system doesn't necessarily fit the players that you have on the bench, what happens to those players? Their value goes down the fucking drain. Okay? You are showing that, number one, you have your favorites, you have a set system, and certain players don't fit into that. Fabio Vieira being one of them, right? The list is a mile long. Fabio Vieira, Nketiah, Jakob Kiwior couldn't sniff a start until 2024, until that Liverpool game, actually, right? So you have these young players who it's your job to develop them into first team or regular squad players, and you're not doing it. So their value falls off a fucking cliff. So when we're sitting here, you're sitting here, Matt's sitting here, Lee's sitting here, bitching about the fact that we can't sell players. That's why, and it's another black eye on Mikel Arteta's resume, in my opinion. Like what do the elite coaches do? The elite coaches can take players off their bench and switch in and out whenever they want. But Mikel Arteta can't do that, in my opinion. Our bench loses value.
Pep can do it. Klopp can do it.
Yeah,
the big managers, the guys that if they leave, we're going to win the league. I can. Do you know what? I already know that'll be the excuse. If we don't win the league this season coming, the season after when Pep's meant to be leaving, this will be the excuse from Arsenal fans. Oh, but Pep's leaving now, so we're going to win it now. Like it's annoying. But I agree.
I saw that everybody throwing a ticker tape parade for Pep Guardiola leaving. Like Man City aren't going to bring in somebody of his ilk.
Of course, they'll bring someone in just as world class. Like they're sorted. I wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and bring someone like Inzaghi. Inzaghi would be good for City.
Wouldn't be surprised.
So, but no, when it comes to Arteta's substitution wise, and that's another thing. We're looking to boost our bench, selling Smith Rowe, Eddie Nketiah, that leaves some holes on our bench as well. We've got to find players that would be willing to rotate, possibly finding a winger for Saka to rotate with. That's going to be difficult.
I saw an interesting, I'm going to put a pin in that because I saw an interesting article that I want to get your opinion on, but go ahead. Sorry.
For sure. I said this multiple times in the last few weeks. We look back on the season when Arteta doesn't want to make subs until the 75th, 80th minute, and then it's the same standard subs every single time in the same order pretty much.
Yeah.
We've got players like Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, Nketiah on the bench. I'd rather just put in some academy kids that look talented. We got Wanyeri coming into the team this season. I think he should have had more minutes last season.
Yep.
What's the point of having Dross like Fabio Vieira on the team? Who offers nothing to this side. Let's be honest with it now. What does he offer to the side that Wanyeri can't? Come on now. Let's not take the piss here.
Other than two good games off the bench, he was invisible. I think he got a red card and then he got injured, and then he put in, when we needed him the most against Tottenham at home, he shit the bed.
Oh, but no, TJ. He'll flourish on the Mikel Arteta with Fabio Vieira. He'll be the next best thing.
He has two good games, and everybody was calling him the next the Portuguese Bergkamp or some shit.
I can't wait for the ball ache of all the crying Arsenal fans when Eddie leaves. Oh my god, it will be a ball fest. Everyone will be crying about it. Grow up. Oh my god. If it was someone that's actually done things for Arsenal that have somewhat made themselves successful at the club, or led the team on for something, i.e. I was really sad when Aubameyang left. I was so sad when Sanchez left, especially to Manchester United.
Of course, that was
players of that caliber. I was even fucking depressed when Aaron Ramsey left. I was right because I was brought up with obviously like the players like Aaron Ramsey, Jack Wilshere, that kind of midfield. Santi Cazorla. That's when I probably started watching Arsenal. And I was even depressed when fucking Aaron Ramsey left because he was a good servant for Arsenal. But fucking Nketiah's done nothing apart from scoring a couple goals in a couple cup matches and maybe one or two against Manchester United. Realistically, what has he done? So, it's like, and it was the same thing for El Neni leaving. Everyone crying about it. And I'm like, listen, El Neni was a good servant for the club. Don't get me wrong. He was here for a long time.
Yes, he was.
But he didn't do anything apart from come on for 10 minutes in some games and, press the ball, which I saw that clip. Remember people were talking about that. Was it the United game? He came on for 10 seconds just to press the ball and he walked off the pitch straight after because it was the full time whistle. And don't get me wrong. He scored.
No, that's why I call him and Cedric, respectively, the Egyptian and Portuguese victory cigars. Like you guys, like these guys, they don't do anything outside of like a League Cup game against.
Even El Neni, we could have had Lewis Skelly over him on the bench. El Neni barely played a game this season. Real Walters, I'd have rather seen Walters play Arsenal football than Cedric. Cedric wasn't needed this season. He wasn't. He played a PSV game where we were already through when we could have gone ahead and seen some more youngsters in the team. That's another thing. I'm not going to bite on the youngster page too much because I've been hammered for it so far, saying, okay, fine, we'll just throw youngsters onto the first 11. That's not what I'm saying.
I agree. I couldn't. Here's the thing is like the fact that you're getting so much blowback on that is absolutely ridiculous to me because it's one of those things where people fucking
tune in every week.
Tune in every other Tuesday for, over the summer for it's one of those things. Plug it. No, it's Look, I'm serious though. This has been one of our biggest criticisms is the fact that, like, okay, well, Mikel Arteta, he's building a culture. He sure as shit isn't building a youth squad. Like, we are not
Project Youth as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Project Youth, whatever. You're talking about Project Youth, but then you're literally starting one youth player in our first round of the Carabao Cup, and then you're starting fucking Mo El Neni. Jorginho is captaining the side, and you have Cedric on the back line. What about that says anything about fucking youth? It doesn't. Look, I could take a loss. Here's the thing, Connor, is I could take a loss against in the first round of a Carabao Cup against a West Ham team.
We lose it anyway, so it doesn't matter. We lose it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I know, but my point is that we have to start playing some of these youth players and seeing what these kids can do. And what do? We put in our fucking pensioners. Yep. Like we have to change this mode of thinking. If you're truly building a system, if you're truly building a culture, you need to start giving these kids a chance. You need to start saying, "Hey, look, man, you're looking good in the under 21s. You're looking good in the under 23s. We're going to give you a shot. Fill in," because it says more about Arteta than it does about the youth players. It says more about this board than it does about the youth players, because we are one of the top clubs in London. Okay, let's show that by showcasing our youth and showing that we could either develop these fucking kids or sell them to somebody that will.
We've got one of the best academies in the country. Load of bullshit.
When was who other than Bukayo Saka has come off the bench and has come out of our academy and ESR and made a fucking difference?
I swear that on my life, the last player since then was Jack Wilshere.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah,
that's made an impact to Arsenal's team. Jack Wilshere was the last player.
Yeah,
I'm not even counting Eddie or Nelson, because that's bringing a player through that's been successful. And dare I say it, and I'm sorry, and I love him. Even Smith Rowe don't count. He don't. He made a good couple of periods. He's been better than Nelson and Eddie. Nelson's had his game or two against Liverpool when he got us the 3 points, and he also Bellerin, of course. Yeah, Bellerin was, you could actually put Bellerin in there because he actually did play a load of games for Arsenal when he was somewhat successful into the team. So I will count Bellerin as well. So Bellerin and Wilshere, really realistically, was probably the only ones. And but yeah, Nelson, his game against Liverpool, scored that goal against Bournemouth. Thank you. But like, it's like El Neni scored a goal against Barcelona. Well done. You know, like it's these little things where it's like, thank you for your contribution to the team, but he didn't offer much. You know, people bang on about this Lewis Skelly kid. I barely even know who he is, but he's this academy kid that everyone's all these top gunners are creaming themselves about. This Mars Lewis Skelly, right? And I'm sure he's a great player. Sure, he's a good player. I don't watch enough of the academy, and I probably should, but I'm sure he's a good little prospect. So why would you rather play on any in the team that you love so much and not give the youth a try, Lewis Skelly, that you bang on about? Remember when Charlie Patino was called out to be the next Steven Gerrard?
I'm really glad you brought that up because he was next on my list.
He went to a relegation Swansea. Like he's at What was he at Blackpool for a bit?
Blackburn or no?
Blackpool.
No, it was Blackpool. Yeah, Blackpool.
You know, like it's like he scored that goal against Sunderland, and the next thing he was next Steven Gerrard, next Frank Lampard. It's like it blows my mind how, when I bring out the points for wanting to give players a start. But then and these are the players that these people on Twitter are all going on about. They're this, they're that, they're the next best thing. I believe with some of those players as well. I want Nwaneri to come into this team and shine. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to go out and say El Neni deserves to be on the bench, Fabio Vieira deserves to be on the bench over these kids who you're saying is the next best thing, but you're willing to let these dross players rot on our bench, how am I meant to win here? How am I meant to, and I get criticised for saying I want to see a couple more youth coming to the team. What does Cedric Suarez offer to this team that's so crucial that Ruel Walters doesn't deserve to play a game against PSV that we're already through?
No, I agree.
It's these little, Ruel Walters could come into that PSV game, TJ, and get 3 assists, and then people will be saying, get him in the team. Give these players a chance, and they could shine. Even I caught this from Saad the other day. Sego Jr., when we played against who was it? Who did we play against when we had him in the team? Was it in the Carabao Cup against someone?
It was Carabao Cup.
We played Brentford. It was against Brentford.
Yeah.
We played Sego Jr. Sego Jr., the players didn't even want to pass to him. They didn't even want to pass to him in the game. And I actually remembered that when Saad told me. They didn't even want to pass to him.
Yep.
These players aren't getting enough time to shine in this team. And I wish they would.
Well, I want to know what they're doing at these training sessions that are involving the squad and the reserves, where if you ever get into an injury crisis, God forbid, you have to play one of these kids, and the first team doesn't even trust them. Like that's a huge problem. That's a huge cultural problem to where there's no trust there. Like it's been something we've been calling out for a long time, and it's something that I don't think is going to get it. I don't think we're going to address. I mean, and here's another thing that people aren't considering. Like, if you guys read the release list, there is a lot of academy players in that list, which doesn't fill me with a ton of confidence. Nope. And we're getting rid of Hine, and we're getting rid of Arthur and Nkonkwo, which means guys, and we're getting rid of Aaron Ramsdale, which means we have. After we sign David Raya permanently, because we still haven't done that, we have one goalkeeper. One.
Yep.
We still need to go out and buy two goalkeepers.
I'd have kept Nkonkwo.
I would have kept him too. He was in a Wrexham side that got promoted twice. So why are we not retaining him? Why are we not giving him?
We didn't even renew his contract to sell him because he would have gone for money.
Yep.
You know?
Big up Johnny Donuts.
We let him run. I hope he goes to Wrexham, by the way, and kills it, by the way. I hope he does.
No, I hope he does too. I hope they sign him, and I hope they get to the championship next season. It's just the fact that we are eating so many of our projects lately and just saying, okay, well, see you later. Then it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence in the future, I guess, because if we're going to have to go out and spend $200 million every single transfer window, what does that say about our ability to develop? Not a lot of positives. That's all I'm going to say.
I want to make it very clear, and I've said this multiple times. Fuck off, Edu. I'm joking.
Good. Get out of here.
Go. Do you know, Eddie? Why are you here? Go do some transfer work.
Yeah. What are you doing here?
I want to make it very clear. And listen, I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know anything, but I know for a fact because I watched some really fantastic. Oh yeah, no, I'm not. Believe it or not. I've watched some really fantastic documentaries about the footballing academy in the UK, especially, and I watched the Crystal Palace one, which was very, very good, very insightful. And it is true, 1% of players come through to the academy and actually make their way into the first team. It's not a big number at all. Sometimes it can even be 0.5. So it's very rare when you get players coming through into a first team. But And I've got to be brutal and honest. You do see the big teams currently in this league, like the Liverpools, like the Man Cities. And yes, they're in Liverpool, for example. Even, they were in positions where they had to play youngsters because they were in a position where they needed players. They had loads of injuries. So I understand that we didn't have a lot of injuries to warrant us to play youngsters. And I'm not saying that we should have, just dropped the whole 11 and played youth. No. But it does worry me, the fact that we haven't seen a lot of young 16, 18, I'll go 18 because people will cry that it's 16, even though we've got a 16-year-old coming into the first team next season. But boy, I get criticised for there being youngsters into the team, but hey-ho, we want experience. So I know that it's tough for players to make their way into a first team. It's very rare when you get a load of youngsters coming into a team and being successful. But I just feel like we've really missed a shot on some really good players over the years, and we've just let them go. Like Amari Hutchinson, right, is being sold by Chelsea, but at least they've sent him out on loan, let him cook, and they're now going to sell him for a £30 million price tag because he cooked that much in a promoted Ipswich side. You know, so it's even stuff like that. We just let players go on loan with no intent of even wanting to sell them. Then we just let their contracts die down and just let them go. And I know a lot of clubs let their players go on release, but that's another thing going back to why we don't sell any players. We just don't sell players for good fees. Like, even if it's an Nkonkwo, I don't know why we didn't renew his contract before he went to Wrexham this season, or the season just gone, sorry. And then, he come back if he's successful at Wrexham in the team that's looking very on the up, wanting to go out and get promoted in the League Two, which they did. That would make his price tag go up because he's been a regular goalkeeper for them. It's these little things where you're just thinking, why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? And by the way, I'm not blaming it entirely on Edu, by the way, because we had this problem before Edu, before Mikel Arteta.
Yep.
Look at Under Wenger. We had this problem as well, bringing in youth into the team. This has been a problem.
We would bring youth into the team, but we would bring them in during the Carabao Cup, and then we'd bomb out.
So actually, now think about it, because of the players we've got now, it's probably more effective under Arsene Wenger, even Unai Emery, than it was Mikel Arteta.
I
Because
trust
Unai Emery-
either of those. I trust either of those to develop a youth program better.
Oh, 100% the Mikel Arteta. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at Man City, people say, oh, but who's been through there? You got to think of, when Phil Foden first came into the team, he was getting game time in the cup games. If Phil Foden was at Arsenal, Phil Foden wouldn't be the player he is today. I'll tell you that for a fact. Phil Foden, maybe he would get up to there because you can't change a player's ability or technical ability, sorry. But I don't think he would have been this quick onto the path that he's on right now, being player of the season, if he was at Arsenal. I don't think he would have been.
No.
Oscar Bob's not getting his shot. Rico Lewis is now being mentioned in call sheets for England lineups, for backups. It's players like this, And listen, by God, we were successful with Saka. Unai Emery brought him in. Obviously he was here way before that. I know that. And Unai Emery brought him in as a left back. It's stuff like this. I want to see some talent, and I bet these players are crying for a start at Arsenal. But hey, listen, we'll see. But do you know what? And this is the reason we're talking about. I like to think we're talking about this, by the way, is because Wanyeri is officially apparently going to be a main squad player into this season, which I'm extremely happy about. This proves my point, and I'm happy it's finally happening. We're seeing some youth. The fact that we've now lost Cedric Suarez really urges me to say, let's put Real Walters on the bench. Just please, just these two players. All I want to say, just two players. Doesn't affect that much. I think it's better than what we had on the bench last season. It's probably better additions, in my opinion. Raw, fresh talent. They know what it's like to play for the club. So I hope Wanyeri gets some good minutes next season and not 10 minutes off the bench every game, please. Just even if it's a rotation in the cups, which I hope we're going to take serious next season, anything like that. Just want to see some youth into this team, TJ. Really bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, and here's the thing, and I'm going to go back to that again: is if we're not if we're not developing these players, we need to be putting them in the shop window.
Look at that.
That's all. And if that's a negative take that I want to see my team develop and actually sell players for profit, I don't know how that's a negative want.
I don't either. Why would I not why would I not want my academy to succeed? And I'm seeing people saying, fuck the academy.
Yeah. So try and these guys are hilarious. They're calling us ungrateful. So if we get knocked out because we rotate the youth, you would blame Arteta. Come on now. No. I wouldn't. I literally said earlier in the show. I literally said earlier in the show, Tryon, and you might not have been here. I would accept getting knocked out of the cups a little bit more if we were actually trying to run out youth players that fit into the squad. What is discouraging is when we see Mo Elneny, Cedric start, and Jorginho is captaining the fucking side against West Ham. Fabio Vieira.
No one can sit here and tell me that Elneny, Cedric, and Fabio Vieira warrant a start over some Arsenal youth that have been glorified all over social media for being next best thing. It doesn't make sense to me. And I hope to God that Wanyeri comes into this team and cooks, because I'll be laughing at everyone that's told me, "Oh, don't bring youth into the team. They're not ready yet." This is a 16-year-old kid. I hope he comes into this team next season and cooks everything possible, because I will laugh at everyone that was saying, "Nah, don't bring in the youth. We need experience." Like, don't wrong, we need experience, but when you've got, again, players that aren't good enough on the bench, that we know are dross, that we don't even want to appear in the team, why not try something new, Mikel? Is what it is. But hey, listen, we have our opinions, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with it, but it is what it is. It is what it is, and this is why I love doing YouTube, is because so many people disagree with me. But what I'm saying, I love it.
Here's the thing. It's so funny. I mean, we're in the Gooner Lounge chats for all this stuff, and we're the negative ones, right? Big up Sod every single time. By the way. No, it's one of those things where I don't think what I'm saying is illogical. Like I think it's so funny. I think it's so funny to want these things for your club, because at the end of the rainbow, people, it's not a pot of gold. It's a fucking Premier League trophy, and it's sustained winning. That's what's at the end of this whole thing. Look, if Mikel Arteta, I will give Mikel Arteta his flowers for what he has done to develop a culture in the first team and get us out and continue incremental improvements, right? But the incremental improvements are running out, and I think if I'm not seeing positive advancement in other areas, it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah,
TJ,
like I'll give him another year. Like
TJ, to improve, the only way he can improve now is by winning a trophy.
It was the same story last season.
No, because there is no way. No, I'm not talking about. In my logic, he hasn't succeeded anyway. But in the logic of the top Gooners, he has succeeded by finishing a couple more points above what he did last season, for staying in the race a little bit longer with Man City. That's success for some Arsenal fans, and I can't believe I'm 20 years old, haven't even seen us lift a goddamn Premier League title. And yet I hold the standards to say that being in a title race until the last day of the season isn't success. Like, it blows my mind how this just shows what happens to a club when you don't win majors for such a long time. God forbid United don't win majors for the next 10 years, because their fan base, not even youngsters, these are adults that are saying this shit. They'll be screwed. They'll think fifth's a success. Like, it blows my mind how some Arsenal fans believe that second is a trophy. They do. They believe it's success.
I know.
Oh, but it's progression every single season. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this. If Mikel Arteta doesn't win the trophy at the Premier League title next season, he has not progressed. I'm sorry, he hasn't. I swear on my life, TJ, if we finish 1 point above what we finished this season, which it won't happen. If we finish 1 point above what
they're gonna tout him. They're gonna make him out to be the next thing. Give him a fucking statue outside the Emirates. That's what you're gonna hear.
I'm gonna lose my mind. So let's keep. This is why I love everyone in this fucking chat right now. I love TJ. I love everyone, right? Because we keep the standards up high. We sit here and we keep the standards up high. We don't care if we come second. Big up to Emmanuel Petit, Arsenal legend. Fuck that he went Chelsea. Arsenal legend actually won a title with this club, unlike a lot of these bums that are in the team right now that haven't. And I haven't even seen a title, and I know that man's a legend. I didn't even get to see him play. I know that man's a legend. He came out, and rightfully so. And I know a load of Arsenal legends still think the same, but they just don't come out and say it. I know loads of them keep it the same, right? He came out and said that no one will remember this Arsenal team in 10 years if they don't win a Premier League title.
He's right.
They won't remember last season. They won't remember the season before that with the Bournemouth goal. No one remembers second place. No one does. That's like saying, picking out, for example, you go to a World Cup or a Euros. I'm going to remember who finished second place in the Euros when Portugal won it. I don't even fucking remember who it was. I swear on my life, I don't either. Who it was. I swear on my life. I don't, because Portugal won it that year. It's stuff like this. It's little things like this, because it's in 10 years' time. It blows my mind how people believe that we are currently succeeding. Oh my God. And again, big up to Mikel Arteta, by the way. Came out and said, we're going to win. At the end of the season against Everton, don't accept this. This isn't good enough. He better win something next season. He better. I swear on my life.
You put your neck out there by saying things like that, and I saw another clip of him wearing some suit saying, "Oh man, I'm devastated we didn't win the Premier League title." Okay, I'm like, well, think of this devastation on a cold rainy night in fucking London at the London Stadium when you're playing against West Ham in December. Think about that when you're playing away at Craven Cottage on December 31st. Think about that. Don't be thinking about your trips to Dubai and how you're going to resurrect the team. Think about how every step you make, or every mistake you make, is one little block you pull out of the fucking Jenga tower when it all comes collapsing down because we weren't good enough during these passages of play, or we weren't good enough in April, or we weren't good enough December through January. Like that's my whole thing. Like, he can wax lyrical about, oh yeah, no, this isn't good enough. Hey, Mikel, we know. We watch. We know. Okay? We're all disappointed too, my friend. So what are you going to do to improve it? That's my whole thing. And look, TJ, you're so negative. Oh my gosh, it takes time to win the league. Everything doesn't come from an ATM machine. Okay, look, and I know these Cronky and Gaspar accounts are out there to wind me up, and I really don't care because you're chatting.
Why is he? Go do your transfer business. We need transfers, bro. Sell players. Go on, shoot.
Yeah. Get out of here. Get out of here if you're gonna do it. Here's the thing. Oh my God! Big up, Jacob.
How about you think about the fact that your manager has fucked off Tottenham and gone to go do punditry for the fucking Euros instead of doing his actual job at Tottenham? Come on now, that's what I said. Ange is a poor man's Rafa Benitez. That's what I'm going to say. He's a poor man's Rafa Benitez. Come on now, let's move on.
We got to get you and Jacob
Forward.
on the stream, and
No,
then that way, nobody will it'll just be screaming at each other like me and Jacob are. No. I wanted to bring this up because we only have 8 minutes to go, and then I gotta freaking go back to work. Big up everybody inside, by the way. Make sure you're smashing the likes and start looking around and tell me who to redirect to, because there's a bunch of people live right now. Thank you guys again for joining and being here while we relaunch the best show on YouTube. Let's just be honest, it's the best show on YouTube. I may not be objective, but who needs to be objective? It's YouTube, right? Anyway, big up Phineas. Big up Phineas. Big up everybody inside, by the way. Smash these likes. Get us up to 20 likes before the end of the show.
Please do.
I wanted to bring this one player up and see what you thought. Frimpong from Leverkusen. We are linked.
Oh,
He could back up Ben White. He can back up Saka.
Ben White. He'd start over Ben White.
You think Frimpong would start over Ben White? I don't think so. Not in this league.
No, 100%. No. Now listen, Ben White played a good season last year. He's been one of our most consistent players.
Do you think Frimpong would start over?
Easily. He's in that team, bro.
Dude.
Ben White gets benched easily every day of the week. Bench him easily, 100%.
Big up Phineas for the super chat, by the way. Get them up. Get those likes up, people. Get those likes up. Subscribe if you're new. Sorry. Dude, I got excited when I saw that because not only can he slide in at right back, he can slide in at right wing. Like the guy is class. If we pay, all I'm going to say is I'm glad you're as excited as I am because pay the fucking money.
I swear his release clause is really
bring
low
him in.
as well. Isn't his release clause something ridiculous, like 30 million or something crazy like that? Don't know if they've changed it now, but
pay him. I don't give a shit.
Bro, he's a good player.
He's a good player.
I'd put him in. Now that is Arsenal. That's Kyle Walker type shit, you know. That kind of right back that's in the league. You know, quality, fast, can defend, quality player.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he can play right wing. That would benefit both. That would benefit one player in two different positions. Versatility as much as a load of Arsenal.
I think it's like color by numbers at this point. Like, why not bring like if those links are real, go and fucking get him because
1000%.
we've been talking about that. And then honestly, like I hate to say it, then it's either Jesus or Reece Nelson. See you later. After that, if you bring in a player like that, then you have coverage on the right that we've been praying for. I mean, don't get me wrong. Thank you, Reece. Thank you for your service to the club, but. Other than the Bournemouth goal, you're going to always be known for the Bournemouth goal. But other than that, like you run around a lot and you have a lot of passion. Other than that, he really hasn't impacted. So
no, 100%. If that's the case with Frimpong, 1000% I'd take him at Arsenal. He would easily fit into this team. In my opinion, he started with Ben White. And I know that's harsh to say because Ben White had a really, really good season. But bro,
one of the best right backs in the league.
But bro, I'm sorry. You know, we everyone thought Ramsdale was the best thing. One of the best goalkeepers of the season when we finished second, and he was up there. He was really good for us. But if you get a player in like Frimpong, bro, not only are you showing that you want to compete for a title, you're also showing that you're going to put him straight away into that team. Because oh my god, CJ, that signing would be perfect for Arsenal. Because if Saka gets injured, whack him straight in that right wing. Fast. Yep. His agility is ridiculous.
We know, sir, the next episode of The Limpsons is coming next season. I mean, freaking. Sorry, that video is still hilarious. Big up Manuel Fernandez, by the way. He disagrees. Frimpong quality. Come on,
please tell me you're lying.
Big up for the super chat.
Tell me you're lying.
Big up for the super chat, dude. Dude just went unbeaten in the Bundesliga, and he's not quality. Okay.
Please.
All right. I mean, look. I know the German league is a quote unquote farmers league, but come on, they just knocked freaking Bayern off the perch, and Dortmund, who were, if I remember back 3 days, were just in a Champions League final.
He's levels. He's levels.
Yeah. All I'm going to say, Bundesliga and DFB Pokal. So they did the German double. And almost won the Europa League. They almost did the treble.
They fucked that. They really
they did fuck it. But anyway, like they were going to run out of steam eventually. That's all I'm going to say. They were going to run out of steam eventually.
I just think
I think Atalanta were the team of destiny. And
and they were the underdogs as well. People didn't write them off. But then again, you look at what they done to Liverpool. completely slapped them up completely.
Yeah.
And you know, Gasparini done a great job with that Atlanta side, and Lookman needs a looking at. That's all I'm going to say. Needs a looking at. Good.
I think that we should save Lookman for our next episode because I could talk about this player and the potential that you see in him. What a good player. But again, like we need to be looking for impact makers, and I think that Frimpong it's so easy.
Yeah, I'll take him every day of the week.
No, and look, and you know, they're just like, oh no, you know, they got people being like,
hey, go buy us another Brazilian for £3 million that would never impact the squad again.
Yeah, I know. It's look, guys, I'm gonna tag it. Let's be real. We need coverage. We need coverage on that back line and on the right. This is literally if you bring in this player, you kill two birds with one stone.
Yep.
And I think it's pretty easy to determine that these are the kinds of players that the versatile merchants out in the fan base would celebrate.
Yep.
Right.
Agreed.
So yeah,
100%.
Grimaldo's quality, mate. Frimpong, nah. I mean, Grimaldo
was a great left back. I'll take Grimaldo at Arsenal, but they're both just as good as each other.
Right.
When I saw Leverkusen this season for the I didn't watch many of the Bundesliga. When I watched the games against Bayern, because they were the standout ones. When I watched the ones in the Europa League, bro, he cooked 9 goals and 7 assists. It isn't crazy, but it's good for a player like that. And he's everything I want. And I think wasn't he part of the world team of the year or something? I don't know what it was. It was like the Europe team of the year, whatever it was. So he's quality, man. No, he's a good right back. I'm telling you right now. So yeah, good fullback and also a good winger. So I'd take him at Arsenal 100%. 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah, and guys, thank you for the super chats, by the way. Really, really appreciate it. Anything you can give to help support the channel is really, really appreciated. Elise, yeah, I mean, nobody's saying that Elise isn't good. Johnny Donuts. Excuse me.
Elise wouldn't come in. He wouldn't enjoy being second fiddle to Saka.
I know, and then there's like I would love to get players in, but like that, but they're surplus to
he wants to play his career out, get into the France team or England team if he does end up joining England. But he needs consistent game time. And being a second fiddle to a winger, he can't do that. So
100%.
So yeah,
100%, guys. All right, guys. Well, we got to wrap up now because I got to get back to work to my real day job, which is an absolute joke. But this has been episode 1 of the Let's Be Real show. Connor, again. We cooked. It's rebooted. We cooked. It's great. The chat has been absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much for all your participation. Even Josh and Edu, go out there and start buying some players. And maybe listen to what we're saying every so often, and maybe we can win a title or
maybe we can win some.
But Connor, shout yourself out, man. It's good to be back.
Yeah, 100%, man. Thanks for bringing it back. I'm glad it's back. It's a good show that I enjoyed doing it with you, TJ, of course. And it's nice to finally actually be on a show with TJ where he's not busy 24/7. So listen, no, TJ, thanks very much for bringing it back and obviously getting your main co-host on here. And I'm looking forward to the more shows down the line. Big up to everyone in the chat. If you want to check out CMO Sports, please do. It's down there. We're on the road to 800 subs now, just surpassed 700. So thank you to everyone who has showed support on that channel. We have got the Tottenham fans on tonight, and we'll be talking the latest with Werner, Ange, Ivan Toney, and also the new kit, which looks dreadful in my opinion.
So bad.
And we'll be breaking down the new PR video because it made me laugh. Time to rise, according to the Tottenham PR. So we're breaking that down today. So please do go check that out. It's always a good laugh for the Tottenham fans, and I get to take the piss out of them. It's even better. So do tune into that at 9 p.m. UK. So exactly 2 hours. Come and tune in.
Yeah. Time to rise. What do you mean by that?
You're twerking for Spurs. You're twerking for me, you fraud. You're twerking for me. You want my trophies in your cabinet. It's dusty. It's quiet. There's nothing in there.
Yeah. Jacob's on his way to the supermarket to go get some pledge to dust that shit out.
Why is Jacob here, by the way?
But yeah, nice to see Connor. Big time Connor could make some TJ time again. I agree.
It should be the other way around. It should be the other way around.
It is legitimately to be fair to Connor, it is legitimately my fault. Like doing these midday shows is extremely tough. Which is why I have to keep them to an hour. But it's my fault because I have a date. I'm 7 hours behind Connor, at any time in the year, so it's hard to link up sometimes. That being said, I will be live. I will be live tonight with Flawless on Sarcasm City TV.
Oh yes.
After work. I don't know if Tony's going to be there, but we'll be live. I don't know if he's going to be there. We'll see. Tony's Tony's taking a break, and he's he's doing a lot of work on like refereeing and stuff too. So he's really busy. But yeah, no, guys, I will be live tonight with Flawless on Sarcasm City TV. Guys, tell me who's live right now, please, so we can redirect to them. Yeah, so I'll be live with Flawless tonight, 1 a.m. and then American Idiots will go live. I don't know when yet though.
It's Flawless. He's got people on.
Oh, Flawless is live. Okay, cool. We'll redirect to Flawless then. But yeah, no, I'll keep an eye on the community page for the American Idiot show this week. I am going to be going. I'm actually going to South Bend for a wedding gig this week, so the time may need to switch around a little bit.
I don't like doing that. You back doing the gigs,
dude? It's summer. It's wedding season, baby. You gotta go out there and get that cash.
What do you mean I wear a lily white shirt? You'll never catch me wearing that shite. Can't be having me wearing a lily white shirt. There's more chance. Listen, I'm not a fraud like Stel, who wears Arsenal shirts for bets. I don't, mate. I would rather bet my house. I'd rather bet my house than having to put on a Tottenham shirt. Never in my life. Never would I wear that awful thing. And do you know what? I actually feel sorry for the Tottenham fans because they got to wear that piece of shit. I mean, to be fair, they got to wear shit every season. To be fair, but this one is a howler. It is awful. It stinks. It looks awful. So, yeah, makes it actually better. A shit team with a shit kit. So it's what it is.
All right.
There you go.
On that bombshell, we're out of here. Guys, we're going to raid Flawless. Go over there and say TJ Warren TV raid, hashtag 10HogIn, people. TJ Warren TV raid, hashtag 10HogIn, and I will see you over there in a little while. Cheers.